She believed in his dreams more than he did. When Mark wanted to start his own business but lacked the funds, his wife, Sarah, didn't hesitate. She borrowed money, trusting that their future together was worth the risk. Sleepless nights, sacrifices, and unwavering support. Sarah stood by his side through it all. And then success came. Mark's business flourished, bringing in wealth, recognition, and a whole new lifestyle. But just when Sarah thought they could finally enjoy the fruits of their hard work, everything changed. Mark became distant, secretive, until one day, out of nowhere, he handed her divorce papers. No explanation, no remorse, just a cold, calculated move. And then the truth surfaced. There was another woman. Sarah was left with nothing but debt and heartbreak. How could the man she built a future with betray her like this? What would she do next? Stay tuned to find out. Sarah sat frozen, staring at the divorce papers in disbelief. Just months ago, she and Mark had dreamed of a future together, planning their lives around the business they built. Now he was walking away, without a second thought. The weight of the debt she took on for him pressed heavily on her chest. How could he do this to her? How could he forget everything they had been through? At first, Sarah thought there had to be a mistake. Maybe stress had changed him. Maybe this was just a rough patch. But then whispers started. Friends, neighbors, people she barely knew, started mentioning another woman. A younger, glamorous woman who had suddenly appeared in Mark's life. The pieces clicked together, and the betrayal hit her like a storm. Had she been nothing more than a stepping stone? Had Mark always planned to leave once he made it? The answers weren't clear, but one thing was, Sarah wasn't going to be broken so easily. Sarah's world felt like it was crumbling, but she refused to let herself fall apart. She replayed everything in her mind. The long nights Mark spent at work, the sudden expensive gifts he never explained, the way he had slowly pulled away. The signs had been there, but she had trusted him too much to see them for what they were. Determined to find the truth, Sarah started digging. She went through old messages, checked financial records, and spoke to mutual friends. The more she uncovered, the more betrayed she felt. Mark hadn't just left her. He had been planning this for months. Money had been moved around, accounts shifted, and suddenly, Sarah realized that the business she had helped build was now entirely in his name. The worst part, the woman he left her for wasn't just anyone. She was someone close, someone Sarah had once trusted, and that's when the betrayal cut even deeper. Sarah's hands trembled as she stared at the documents proving what Mark had done. He had been transferring assets, making sure that when he left, she would be left with nothing but debt. The betrayal felt unbearable, but the final blow came when she discovered who the other woman was, Lisa, her old friend. Someone she had confided in, someone who had once given her advice on how to support Mark's dreams. Heart pounding, Sarah knew she couldn't just sit back and let this happen. She confronted Mark, hoping for even a sliver of guilt, but all she saw was indifference. "You'll be fine," he said casually, as if the years she had spent building his success meant nothing, as if she was just an obstacle he had finally cleared. But Sarah wasn't about to disappear quietly. She had proof, she had a voice, and she had something Mark never expected: strength. And this wasn't over yet. Sarah refused to let Mark walk away so easily. She knew the truth, but proving it was another battle. Just as she was preparing to fight back, she received an unexpected message, one that changed everything. It was from an old business associate of Mark's, someone she barely knew. The message was short but powerful. "You're not the only one he betrayed." Confused, Sarah met with the man, and what she learned sent chills down her spine. Mark's success wasn't as clean as it seemed. He had made deals that weren't entirely legal, moved money in ways that could get him into serious trouble. And now, with the way he had left Sarah, he had left a trail of proof behind. If she played her cards right, she could expose him, not just for what he did to her, but for everything. Mark thought he had won, but he had made one critical mistake, underestimating Sarah. Sarah knew this was her moment. With the evidence in hand, she carefully planned her next move. Instead of confronting Mark again, she took everything she had: financial records, shady business deals, and proof of his betrayal, and sent it to the right people: lawyers, investors, and even authorities who had been keeping a close eye on him. The fallout was immediate. Mark's world started crumbling just as quickly as it had risen. Investors pulled out, clients distanced themselves, and soon legal troubles followed. His once thriving business was now under intense scrutiny. But just when Sarah thought she had seen the worst of him, a shocking truth emerged. Lisa wasn't staying by his side. As soon as trouble hit, she disappeared, leaving Mark alone to face the consequences. And just like that, the man who had betrayed Sarah lost everything. But Sarah? She walked away stronger, wiser, and finally free from the man who never deserved her. As Mark's empire collapsed, Sarah found herself standing at the edge of a new beginning. The debt that once felt like a burden no longer held power over her. With legal action in motion, she reclaimed what was rightfully hers. It wasn't about revenge, it was about justice. For the first time in a long while, Sarah felt at peace. She had lost so much, but in the process, she had gained something far more valuable: herself. No longer defined by Mark's dreams, she focused on rebuilding her own life. Friends who once pitied her now admired her strength. One evening, as she sipped coffee in her small but peaceful home, she smiled. She had survived. Mark's betrayal no longer haunted her. He had lost everything chasing a lie, while she had found something real: freedom, self-respect, and a future that was truly hers. And that was the greatest victory of all.